material world, there's so many people trying to help us find that.
I u materijalnom svijetu toliko mnogo ljudi nam pomaže da bismo pronašli te stvari.
So just imagine someone dying of thirst in the desert.
Zamislite nekog ko umire od žeđi u pustinji.
And soon comes the ambulance.
I dolazi hitna pomoć.
And they jump out of the ambulance.
I iskaču oni iz hitne pomoći.
Save this person.
Spasite ovu osobu.
And they take out the bottle of water.
I uzmu bocu vode.
And put it in his mouth.
I stave mu u usta.
And one drop comes out.
I ispadne jedna kapljica.
We saved him.
Spasili smo ga.
And they get back into the ambulance.
I onda se vrate u hitnu.
And look for another victim.
I traže drugu žrtvu.
So that's the material world.
To je materijalni svijet.
And the spiritual world is an ocean of happiness.
A duhovni svijet je ocean sreće.
And the center of that happiness is the Supreme Person.
I u centru te sreće je svevišnja osoba.
Who's an ocean of love and pleasure.
Koja je ocean ljubavi i zadovoljstva.
And each one of us have an eternal loving relationship with him.
I svatko od nas ima vječni ljubavni odnos s njim.
Unfortunately, we've forgotten that relationship.
Nažalost, zaboravili smo taj odnos.
And we formed another relationship.
I stvaramo druge odnose.
With the material world that we're living in.
Sa materijalnim svijetom u kojem živimo.
And here, instead of trying to love the Supreme Person and serve him,
I umjesto da pokušavamo voljeti i služiti svevišnju božansku osobu,
we've taken that loving relationship and put it somewhere else.
Mi te ljubavne odnose preusmjeravamo na nešto drugo.
Just like I said, we wake up in the morning.
Kao što sam rekao, probudimo se ujutro.
And we look in the mirror.
Pogledamo u ogledalo.
And everyone asks the mirror.
I svatko pita ogledalo.
Mirror. Mirror.
Ogledalo.
We ask the mirror.
Pitamo ogledalo.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Ogledalce, ogledalce na zidu.
Who's the greatest of them all?
Ko je najveći od svih?
And it just so happens each one of us get the exact same answer.
I čini se da svatko od nas dobiva isti odgovor.
The mirror says, "Oh my dear soul."
Ogledalo kaže, o moja draga dušo.
Draga dusha. You're seeing in the mirror the Supreme.
Ti vidiš vrhovno biće u ogledalu.
The perfection of your life you're seeing right now.
Savršenstvo života ti sada vidiš.
Please.
Molim te.
Molim. Give up all other desires.
Odustani od svih drugih želja.
And worship that deity in the mirror.
I štuj to božanstvo u ogledalu.
With unalloyed.
Sa neokaljanom.
Chisti. Pure.
Čistom.
Uninterrupted.
Neprekinutom.
Love and service.
Ljubavlju i službom.
And immediately you say, oh, finally.
I mi kažemo, konačno.
I've met the love of my life.
Upoznao sam ljubav svog života.
And now I'm going to render unalloyed, uninterrupted service to my deity in the mirror.
I sada ću pružati neokaljanu i neprekinutu službu tom božanstvu u ogledalu.
And in our worship of Krishna we have something called Abhishek, which we'll be doing soon.
I u našem obožavanju Krišne mi imamo nešto što se zove Abhishek i to ćemo uskoro raditi.
And for all of us we also do Abhishek.
A i svi mi radimo Abhishek.
We take a shower to worship our deity.
Tuširamo se da bismo obožavali božanstvo.
And then we feed our deity.
I onda hranimo božanstvo.
So many different nice foodstuffs.
Toliko raznih vrsta hrane.
We dress the deity.
Zatim oblačimo božanstvo.
We decorate the deity.
Dekoriramo, ukrašavamo božanstvo.
Then we go out into the world.
I zatim idemo van u svijet.
To spread the glories of our deity everywhere.
Kako bismo širili slave svog božanstva posvuda.
We call that Sankirtan.
To zovemo Sankirtan.
So everyone is a deity worshipper.
Svatko štuje božanstva.
The question is which deity we're worshiping.
Pitanje je koje božanstvo štujemo.
Now we worship our present deity that we're in, called the material body.
Sada štujemo svoje sadašnje božanstvo koje se zove materijalno tijelo.
There are a few problems
Postoji par problema
called birth, death, old age, and disease.
Zovu se rođenje, bolest, starost i smrt.
Then in the beginning, everyone is born and everyone loves the deity.
U početku svatko se rodi i svi obožavaju to božanstvo.
You're so cute.
Kako si sladak?
Yes, I know.
Da, znam.
Then we grow up
Zatim odrastemo
and we try to struggle.
i onda se borimo.
1 plus 1 is 3.
1 plus 1 je 3.
You fool.
Budalo.
It's 2.
To je 2.
I said 3.
Rekao sam 3.
Then there's disease.
Zatim bolest.
We break our arm.
Slomimo ruku.
We break our leg.
Slomimo nogu.
As soon as we're born,
Čim se rodimo,
the first thing, entrance into the material world. When we enter into the material world,
čim uđemo u materijalni svijet,
everyone is not singing, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. No one is singing that in the maternity room.
niko u rodilištu ne pjeva sretan rođendan ti.
No, immediately, whack!
Zviznu nas da se rasplačimo.
Welcome to the material world.
Dobrodošli u materijalni svijet.
Then we grow old
Zatim ostarimo.
and we get a cane.
Možemo li dobiti štap?
Disappear.
Ili štap, nestao je.
And then time to die.
I onda vrijeme za umiranje.
And no one sings.
I niko ne pjeva.
Happy death day to you. Happy death day to you.
Sretan smrtni dan ti.
But that death is the prelude to the happy birthday.
Ali taj smrt je nastavak sretan rođendan ti. Jel?
In other words, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, in the book where Krishna speaks, called the Bhagavad Gita,
U knjizi gdje Krišna govori, koja se zove Bhagavad Gita,
he explains about reincarnation.
on objašnjava reinkarnaciju.
He says in Sanskrit,
On kaže na sanskritu,
which I'll translate for those who don't know Sanskrit,
što ću prevesti za one koji ne znaju sanskrit.
Denosminita dehe kamaram yovanam jara tata dahantara pratir diryas tatra navuyati. As the embodied soul continually passes in a body,
Kao što utjelovljena duša prelazi iz jednog tijela u drugo,
from boyhood to youth to old age,
iz dječaštva u mladost, pa onda u starost,
so similarly the soul will pass to another body at the time of death.
tako i duša prelazi u drugo tijelo u trenutku smrti.
A self-realized soul is not bewildered by all these changes.
Samo spoznatu dušu ne zbunjuje ova promjena.
So all of us have the same story.
Svi mi imamo istu priču.
We took birth,
Rodili smo se,
we grew up,
odrastamo,
we became old,
postanemo stari,
so many problems,
toliko puno problema
and then we have to leave this body to take another one.
i onda moramo napustiti tijelo da bismo prihvatili drugo.
So every one of us, we have the same story in the material world.
Dakle, svatko ima istu priču u materijalnom svijetu.
And in between our appearance and our disappearance, we're searching for love and happiness.
I između naše pojave i nestanka tražimo za ljubav i sreću.
In 8,400,000 species of life.
U 8.400.000 životnih oblika.
But by the mercy of Krishna himself,
No milošću samo Krišne,
he knows that all of us were all his eternal children.
on zna da smo svi mi njegova vječna djeca.
Nowadays they say that we all came from monkeys.
Danas tvrde da smo svi nastali od majmuna.
Does anyone know are any of one's relative monkeys?
Jesu li nečiji rođaci majmuni?
This is a theory.
To je teorija.
But if the theory was correct,
Ali kad bi ta teorija bila točna,
then we should look in our family album.
tada bismo pogledali u obiteljski album
And then we should find out who our ancestors are.
i pronašli bismo svoje pretke.
So, has anyone seen their family album, in their family album, that their great grandfather or mother was a monkey?
Je li netko u obiteljskom fotoalbumu vidio da je njegov pradjed majmun?
There's grandfather Harry.
Tu je deda Dlakavi.
He's a swinger.
On visi, odnosno ljulja se.
And grandmother Lucy.
I baka Lucija.
And then you go back further and further and further.
I idete još unazad i unazad.
And there's a black sheep
I tamo je crna ovca.
that everyone talks about in the family.
O kojoj svi pričaju u obitelji.
There's the black sheep in the family everyone talks about.
To je ta crna ovca u obitelji.
Finally we get further and further back in our album.
I onda idemo još unatrag i još.
And there's a mouse.
I tamo je miš.
Grandfather Squeaky.
Tu je deda Cvilko.
And then you go further and further back.
I onda idemo još i još unatrag.
And there's a rock.
I tamo je kamen.
The most solid member of our family.
Najčvršći član naše obitelji.
And then finally you turn the last page.
I okrenemo zadnju stranu.
And there's nothing there.
I nema ničega tamo.
That's where we all came from according to that theory.
Iz toga smo svi nastali prema toj teoriji.
We came from nothing.
Nastali smo iz ničega.
Because nothing is kind of boring.
Naravno ništa je malo dosadno.
Because it's doing nothing.
Jer ne radi ništa.
And Mother Nothing told Son Nothing.
I majka ništa je rekla sinu ništa.
Why didn't you make something out of yourself?
Zašto ne postaneš nešto?
So after so many countless years of Mother Nothing telling her son to make something out of himself,
nakon bezbroj godina što je majka ništa govorila sinu ništa, neka postane nešto,
with great effort,
sa velikim trudom,
nothing became some gas.
Ništa je postalo nekakav plin.
And Mother Nothing said, "Oh, that's all you can make out of yourself is some gas."
I majka ništa je rekla, pa samo to si napravio od sebe, ti si nekakav plin.
That stinks.
To smrdi.
Stinks.
It means to smrdi. I like to smell.
Yes, yes. So then Son Nothing became angry.
I onda se sin ništa naljutio.
And he exploded.
I eksplodirao je.
And flew everywhere all over the universe.
I razletio se po cijelom svemiru.
For countless years.
I letio je bezbroj godina.
And the Mother Nothing said, well, settle down.
I majka ništa je rekla, da, smiri se.
And here we are now. Here we are now.
I ovdje smo sad.
So does this sound like science?
Zvuči li vam ovo kao znanost?
Or is it science fiction?
Ili je to znanstvena fantastika?
The fact is that all of us had a mother and father.
Činjenica je da je svatko od nas imao majku i oca.
And all our mothers and fathers had mothers and fathers.
I sve naše majke i očevi su imali majke i očeve.
And they were all persons.
I svi su bili osobe.
So how can the original father and mother not be a person?
I kako onda izvorni otac i majka nisu osobe?
If we're a person, how do we become a person if the original father and mother wasn't a person?
Kako smo mi postali osoba ako izvorni otac i majka nisu osoba?
So that original father we call Krishna.
I tog izvornog oca zovemo Krishna.
He's also known as Jehovah, Allah, Yahweh, so many names for God.
Znamo ga kao i Jehovu, Jahve, Allaha, ima jako puno imena za Boga.
And the original mother we call Srimati Radharani.
A izvornu majku zovemo Srimati Radharani.
So they're the source of everything.
Oni su izvor svega.
All of us were all expansions from Krishna.
Svi smo mi ekspanzije Krishne.
But we're very tiny.
Ali smo jako sitni.
And Krishna is very, very great.
Krishna je jako, jako velik.
We're a little loving. We have a desire to love and for friendship and for happiness.
Mi imamo želju za ljubavlju, prijateljstvom i srećom.
But Krishna is the ocean of love, the ocean of beauty, the ocean of happiness.
Ali Krishna je ocean ljubavi, ocean ljepote, ocean sreće.
And when we come in contact with him, then we can actually be satisfied.
I kad dođemo u kontakt s njim, tada možemo zapravo biti zadovoljni.
Just like a thirsty person, if he comes in contact with an ocean of pleasure,
kao jedna osoba kad dođe u kontakt sa oceanom zadovoljstva.
Then he can actually become completely satisfied.
Tada može postati zadovoljna.
So this Ratha Yatra ceremony is a little taste of that ocean.
Dakle, ova ceremonija Ratha Yatre je mala degustacija tog oceana.
Because Krishna has very nicely come here in the form of his name,
Jer je Krishna ovdje došao u obliku svog imena,
in the form of his deities.
u obliku božanstava,
He's come in the form of his devotees, such as Srila Prabhupada,
u obliku svojih bakta kao što je Šrila
and all the
Prabhupada
other devotees participating.
i svih ostalih bakta koji ovdje sudjeluju.
And we chant Hare Krishna happily and joyfully with knowledge,
I mi sretno i veselo sa znanjem pjevamo Hare Krishna,
which is found in the books given by Krishna, translated by Srila Prabhupada.
i to je dano u knjigama koje je napisao Krishna i koje je preveo Šrila Prabhupada.
This is a guide how we can utilize this present body we're in to worship Krishna rather than to try to worship ourselves.
I to je način kako možemo iskoristiti tijelo koje trenutno imamo da štujemo Krishnu umjesto sebe.
There's happiness in worshiping this body and worshiping ourselves,
Postoji sreća u štovanju sebe i ovog tijela,
but it's one drop in a desert.
ali to je jedna kapljica u pustinji.
And there's happiness in worshiping Krishna,
A postoji sreća u štovanju Krišne,
but it's an ocean of love and pleasure.
ali to je ocean ljubavi i zadovoljstva.
So especially in the human form of life, we have an opportunity to choose
I u ovom ljudskom životu imamo priliku odabrati.
whether we want to enjoy one drop in a desert
Želimo li uživati u jednoj kapljici u
or an
pustinji
ocean in a beautiful land called Vrindavan.
ili u oceanu u prekrasnoj zemlji koja se zove Vrindavan.
And to find out more, we have these books here.
I da biste saznali više imamo knjige.
And if you like, you can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And that will also give you some more and more experience in what it means to fall in love with the Supreme Person.
Ova mantra će vam dati sve više iskustva u tome što znači zaljubiti se u vrhovnu osobu.
And experience His unlimited love for each one of us.
A to iskustvo je neograničena ljubav za svakog od nas.
So thank you very much for coming here. We hope you enjoy the rest of the program.
Hvala vam puno što ste došli, nadam se da ćete uživati u ostatku programa.
Please consider purchasing one of our books and taking it home with you.
Molimo vas, razmislite o tome da kupite neku našu knjigu i uzmete je kući.
If you have one already, please take one home for your friends.
Ako već imate neku knjigu, uzmite još jednu za prijatelje.
And if you have no friends, still take one home and give it to someone and they'll become your friend.
A ako nemate prijatelje, uzmite knjigu i dajte ju nekome pa će taj netko postati vaš prijatelj.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.